Hello, Luke Howie again. I'm also the author of Code Red for Humanity and the More Than Human, how supranational organizations are responding to global crises for young people in the biosphere. Also to be used at your event, your seminar and conference in the coming weeks in Europe. Again, I am Luke Howie from the Youth Research Unit, or YouRu, an adjunct associate professor at Deakin University. This report explores how some of the world's most significant supranational organizations like the UN and its agencies, the World Bank, the IMF, imagine their role in supporting children and young people in responding to the crises of the 21st century. Chief among these crises is climate change and its impacts, which include further crises, further downstream crises like transmissible disease, forced migration, conflict, rising sea levels, each in their own rights a crisis. In sub-Saharan Africa, for example, where so many of these crises play out, malaria has an incredible health impact. Over 90% of global malaria cases occur in sub-Saharan Africa. When you consider that over 80% of malaria deaths in this region are children under 5, we start to understand better the level of the climate change crisis in some parts of the world. And it's a crisis that, whilst felt still in Western nations, is not felt as acutely as it is in poorer and developing nations. These are obviously big problems. And it says nothing about the further crises, the crises that emerge as a consequence of the crises that emerge from climate change: lack of access to education, lack of access to healthcare, food and water scarcity and security issues, major disruptions to industry, concentration of wealth and an increase in the hands of the increasingly few, and of course, a mental and physical health crisis that accompanies this code red of climate change. Some solutions are quite direct. Some potential solutions are quite direct. Reduce greenhouse gas emissions wherever we can to keep temperatures below 1.5 degrees above pre-industrial levels, and expand access to healthcare and education for everyone. Make access to education and healthcare an essential part of every life on this planet. Other solutions are more abstract. Across almost all economic measures, empowering women improves not only the education and health outcomes of children and young people, for whom women remain overwhelmingly the primary caregivers, but also the economic performance of nations. If you want to improve the economic performance of a nation, empowering women is the way to do that. The research is quite clear. Failing to empower women costs nations billions of dollars. When you consider that women are more significantly impacted by disasters, the kinds of disasters caused by climate change. For example, women who are forced to migrate are more likely to be unemployed in their new location. It is, of course, again, another really, really big issue. Thank you again. I hope this report is helpful as well in your deliberations in the coming weeks.